Good morning. Welcome to the 2023 State of the University Address. My name is Fotis Sotiropoulos, and I have the privilege to serve as the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs at the Virginia Commonwealth University. I am really pleased to welcome the many members of our VCU community who are here with us today, as well as many others who are joining us via live stream. I would like to especially extend a warm welcome to the VCU Board of Visitors and Board of Directors members who are here with us today. The annual State of the University Address brings us together as one VCU to reflect on and celebrate our many unequal successes over the past year and to contemplate our goals and unlimited aspirations for the year ahead. You will notice around the room and in the vestibule just outside are examples of the many aspects of VCU's unequal creativity. Creativity that we are so fortunate to be surrounded by every day across our campuses. These items have been donated by the School of the Arts, our College of Engineering, the College of Humanities and Sciences, our Branch Center, and VCU Athletics. Thank you all for sharing these items with us today. And now, it is my honor and privilege to welcome the President of the Virginia Commonwealth University, Dr. Michael Rao.
Thank you, Fotis. Good morning. Wow, you're alive. It's awesome, and it's great to see all of you. Thank you so much, members of the boards, for being here. Rector Dendy, delighted to see all of you together, and welcome to this incredible day. And this is going to be a great day. We come together today in an interesting time. It's a time of really rapid change, and you know, candidly, I see that as our opportunity. This pandemic's upheaval, I'm hoping this is the last time I will talk about this pandemic, but let's be real. The upheaval has impacted everything that we think of in our lives, from healthcare to education to how we work and how we feel about so many of the things that we think about and feel in our lives. We're still feeling the ripple effects. Financially, we know that, but emotionally as well. Across the university and the health system, we've seen so many of our colleagues and our students just really rise to the occasion to meet the challenges of the last few years. They were like nothing any of us had ever experienced, and it has been so inspiring to see so many people help each other in so many ways. But you know, it's also a reality that these years have put an enormous amount of strain and stress on so many people. We're seeing the needs of our students and the needs of our patients in our healthcare system change really, really fast. You know, I really have got to stop now and take a moment to say thank you to all of our VCU health teams who took care of all of the people who were in dire need. And having rounded and spent so much time with them, I'm going to particularly thank our nurses whose feet were on the floor at all times. I want to thank them for their compassion, their action, their leadership. Of course, I thank all of our providers. I thank our faculty and our staff for keeping the university together. I thank our students for keeping it together. Imagine being 20 years old or whatever the ages were of our students and dealing with something like that. These have been really stressful years, and we've all got to be mindful to take care of ourselves and to take care of each other. And you know, when I talk about taking care of yourselves, I want to give you a piece of advice that I get every day from Monica, and that is, we've got to be mindful not to allow all of the stressful things that go on around us and in the world become us. You are better than everything else that's going on around the world. Stay connected and true to who you are. That means you've got to visit yourself once in a while and turn all the rest of the news off. Just a piece of advice. We're in a time of transition, and it's a challenge, but it's also a tremendous opportunity. We're not alone. Universities and health systems throughout the country, I talk to my colleagues everywhere, they're facing the same kinds of challenges that we're facing. And I'm sorry to say, talking to some folks, some aren't going to make it. VCU's not only going to survive, it's going to thrive. We're good at this. We have a distinctive mission that really positions us so well for the future. I'm so excited about what I see going forward, and I want you to share that with me. Because what you think often has the best chance of becoming reality. We believe that every single person, every human being, can reach their full potential, no matter where they start off in their lives, no matter where they're coming from, no matter who they are. And everyone admitted to VCU has the potential to succeed, and we'll do everything that we can to make sure of it. You know, as a Pell Grant student, I have to tell you, that's exactly what drew me to VCU, and it's why I continue on this mission with the passion that I continue to have. You know, on a recent visit to campus, one of our senators, our U.S. senators, Tim Kaine, described VCU really well. He said, VCU is an excellence institution, and he knows universities all over the world, and certainly all over our country. He went to Harvard. He says, this is a great institution that's committed to excellence. It has a high degree of research, and it's combined with a high degree of access for everyone who can benefit. And you know, most institutions are like one or they're the other, but VCU is both, with high standards and high impact, both of those. And they are both possible in the United States of America. They have to be possible in the United States of America. But right now, this is what makes us uncommon. This is what makes us a model of public research universities, a truly public research university. And we define ourselves by who we include in this mission, in whose lives we lift, and frankly, whose lives we save. We save people's lives who wouldn't be able to go anywhere else. And you know, the good news is the word is getting out. I'm so glad it is, because this is the right stuff. In fact, next month, the Chronicle of Higher Education, all of you in this room certainly know what that publication is. They've decided they're going to kick off a national series of meetings right here at VCU. And that series of meetings is about the future of higher education. And we're going to focus on VCU as the model. Think about it. The Chronicle of Higher Education, they could have chosen any place to go in the country. They used to typically choose places that we used to hear a lot about that I'm not going to give any more press to. They chose you, and all of you on the screens, because you are a truly public research university community that wants to have impact on the world, positive impact. Our distinctive and fundamentally American missions position us to leverage something we all hear about at VCU and think about every day, our creativity and our innovation, as we adapt to a world that is absolutely in transition. It's changing. And we've got to meet the rapidly changing needs of our students, our patients, and our communities. I was thinking about something that Albert Einstein said just recently, and it was that creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought. And it's a simple statement by Brother Einstein, but I have to tell you that it's an important statement. It is really profound in many ways. And that's what we do at VCU. That's why it hit me. We approach challenges very, very differently. VCU creativity and innovation is everywhere. It's all around us, from fashion design to sculpture, which continues to be ranked #1 in the country, from new branding to the breadth and depth and impact of our research, from our new Children's Tower, Marlon, to our Da Vinci Center, which isn't new. We're approaching the problems that everyone is seeing and getting all stressed out about, and we're thinking about them in novel ways so that we can get to the solutions that we need. The world is calling on us to be ever more creative because it's time to really revolutionize how we learn and how we teach. We've got to get those messages. Our students want, and they tell us this all the time. Their parents tell us this all the time. Employers tell us this all the time. They want and need contextualized experiences, knowledge and understanding and skills that will help them be successful in their lives. Yes, their work lives, because that's important to them, but their lives more generally. And we've got to be sure and make the pledge that they will graduate on time. And guess what? You have done a wonderful job with that so far. We've increased our 6-year graduation rates from 57% to 68% in just the last 10 years. Now, I'm telling you, now's the time to re-energize our focus and achieve what we said we would achieve in Quest 2028, our new strategic plan. 78%. We can and we will do it. But then you might say to yourselves, okay, why? Because VCU believes in the full potential of all of the students that we bring to this university, and we believe they can and should graduate on time. The success of our students, think about it, is got to be the driver of everything we do. And no matter where you work, no matter what your job is at VCU, you got to be a part of this mission. And you got to be real about the fact that today, we've got to figure out how to connect ourselves more because we all know that there are barriers to the success that I just envisioned. We know it. How do we help our students stay in school? Stay in school and finish on time. And how do we do that knowing what I just said? And all of you believe, I know you believe it, I know you believe that everyone has the potential to succeed. Then what are the actions that have to follow? They got to come from your heart. They've got to come from your gut. We know, we all want students to lead innovative lives. And you know what that means? We've got to model the best of innovation ourselves to meet their changing needs. So guess what that means? We got to use all of that innovation that we talk about and that we teach to transform the student experience at VCU. How are we doing that now? We're off to a great start. We're way ahead in meeting the needs of our students where they are and giving them the chance giving them the support that they need so that they can succeed. And I want to say, I really appreciate that one of our major undertakings was ably led by Tamikia LeGrand. She leaves us next month, by the way, to become president of Prairie View A&M University in Texas. Tamikia, thank you so much for your leadership and for being forceful in bringing more students to VCU, continuing to help us expand our commitment to access, and giving them the support they need to succeed. And that is the image I have of her, always ready to fist bump. So Tamikia's team leads programs that have been incredibly successful, like You First at VCU. This is our first-generation student success program, and nearly a third of our undergraduate students will be the first in their families to graduate from college. I said it the way I said it on purpose. The You First Center is awesome. It supports research into the very best ways to help first-gen students overcome barriers to graduation. I remember a lot of those barriers. I didn't know what was going on when I went to college. And no one could tell me, no one from my town could tell me, including my mom. But there were professors who helped me. There were staff members who said, I see that twinkle in your eye, I'm going to help you. And they did. And it settled and calmed my nerves a lot. And that's what we all do here. We just have to reach out to more of our students who need us. We need to figure out who they are and get to them and help them. Remove those administrative barriers. Remove any of these barriers that just don't work. You know, another great example of what we've done that I think is so innovative is the Da Vinci Center, and it continues to grow every day at VCU. And it continues to spread into all the colleges and schools, and I'm so proud. This is where we're engaging students outside of the really traditional environments, despite the very traditional picture. Because we're engaging students to think, and we're engaging them to think and work across disciplines. That's so important, because we need them to be inventors. We need them to create, and we need them to solve real problems in real organizations together in teams, because that's how we solve problems. And that makes them ready to roll. And that's what employers tell me all the time about VCU, is that VCU students not only adapt to new challenges quickly, but they relate to each other really well, and they solve problems. They're on it. That was something that somebody at one of the biggest firms in the country said to me. I love your students because they're on it. They are ready to roll. And we're going to continue to build partnerships with companies like CoStar and Truist, Bank of America. Bank of America is almost dependent on us now in some areas. Dominion Energy, Virginia Credit Union, Markel. I could go on, but these are some of our partners who are helping students access the real work experience that they've got to have so that they can use what they've learned that we're teaching them and be ready to roll as soon as they graduate, or preferably before they graduate. You know, the VCU Brand Center is another nationally recognized entity. It provides really prestigious internship opportunities with companies like Universal Studios and Walmart and Capital One, Johnson & Johnson, and so many others. What's really cool is that these are all leading to their jobs. I get to see Brand Center graduates all the time, and there are a lot of them, and there aren't that many students in that program, so they're all getting jobs. And they're getting great jobs. They love what they're doing. It's in a creative environment. They're leading in their environments. That's what I love about when I see them. Working together as a faculty, we're using what we have learned to focus on things like digital literacy, entrepreneurial skills. We want these things to be things that, as a faculty, we put our heads together and make the best of incorporating these kinds of literacies for all of our students by fall of 2025. Fotis, thank you for your leadership in this regard. This is the stuff that helps make VCU the model public research university. Our vision is that every student at VCU will have a work-life learning experience, not in addition to everything else that they're doing, but as part of it. But we know that one of those little barriers is that not every student can afford to take an internship if it isn't going to pay them. So we started a paid internship program where we offer students a stipend, and then they can take those internship opportunities that are unpaid or just don't pay enough. And I want to tell you about one person, Nayla Pasek. She took us up on our offer. She's a health sciences major with a focus on health promotion. Nayla's major requires clinical experience. VCU's paid internship program helped her cover the expenses that she needed, and it turned her internship, by the way, into a job. So let's take a minute and just hear from Nayla.
My parents came as refugees from Bosnia with my sister, and I was born 2 months later. My dad would teach me to be a good person. He always told me that helping others is the best thing that you can do. I love to serve others. Through my major, health science, it's required. We have clinical experience 1 and clinical experience 2. And I finished my clinical experience 2 with Ronald McDonald House over the summer last year.
One of the innovations for this program that is different from other institutions is that we were able to work as a campus community to find a way to get the funding that we had directly into the pockets of students so that they can spend it on their internship needs.
The VCU internship funding program was beneficial for me and students like myself to be able to get hands-on experience in an area of our interest. It also helped with gas, traveling, other miscellaneous supplies, and business attire.
It's our hope that not only would this offer a great summer experience for the students, but that it could lead to future employment as well.
A week before my internship ended, I was asked to interview for a position as staff with Ronald McDonald House, and I received the job the same day. I serve families coffee, meals, and snacks. I also provide them services such as laundry and sleep rooms for families that are in critical need. After I graduate, I plan on staying with Ronald McDonald House, and I do want to find a full-time position within the hospital area. Even if I'm having a bad day, knowing that I'm able to put a smile on somebody else's face is something that is enough for me.
Oh, that's awesome. And I understand, and Nayla's here with us today. Is that right? Oh, there you are. Stand up. Yeah. Thank you so much for allowing us to use you as such a great example. And thanks also to Willow, the toddler in the video, who is here with us today. And our gratitude also goes to Samara Reynolds, the director of the VCU Career Services area, and the team that helped create and run our paid internship program. So grateful to all of you. Thank you so much. So our mission to meet the changing needs of all of the people we serve is not limited to the classroom at all. Our communities and our society rely on our research. We use our creativity to do exactly what Einstein said. We look at problems that everyone sees, but we look at them in a really different, novel way. We find novel solutions to the most vexing problems. We've always done that at VCU. Our research enterprise reflects our commitment to pursuing really impactful research, as Senator Kaine said, that makes discoveries, tackles our greatest challenges, and addresses opportunities for all of our people, reduces the disparities, and lifts and literally saves people's lives. That's why U.S. News & World Report called VCU one of the top 30 most innovative public universities in the country, and they also ranked us among the top 22% of universities in the world. That's worth it. And it continues to grow. We're growing research, we're growing research funding. In 2022, we had $405 million in sponsored research. By the way, that was a 49% increase in just 5 years, with funding directed toward learning and discovery, but most importantly, to making a positive impact. I gotta tell you though, the most important growth in our research is not really measured in funding alone. It's really measured by the connectivity of our work with the people who benefit from the research. And I have to tell you, I'm told this by my colleagues all the time, we're really a national model. We rose into the top 50 of public research universities, and that's a ranking by the National Science Foundation. When I came, I told you I wanted to be in the top 100. Now we're in the top 50. So what that means is we've gotten ahead of a lot of our peer institutions. It's hard work, and I thank all of my faculty colleagues and others who have contributed to making that possible. We're doing groundbreaking medical and engineering research, and these are discoveries that touch every aspect of the VCU enterprise, from engineering, a bionic nose, to engaging in kids and learning about their watershed, to mapping the Barton Heights Cemetery, one of the oldest African American cemeteries in Richmond and possibly in the United States of America. In this month, the National Institutes of Health renewed for the second time, so we've had three now. We got an original, a first renewal, and this is the second renewal, so three altogether, our $27 million Clinical and Translational Science Award. Yeah, it's worth it. This is a really important area that pulls together all aspects of the institution, all the knowledge and skills that we have throughout the institution to get what we are doing right to the patient's bedside so that we can help them right away. We're turning discoveries into real benefits for human beings. You see these impressive numbers that are here on the screen behind me. And I'm happy with a lot of them, but I have to tell you, I mean, launching 10 startups, you know, it's an all-time high for VCU, but you know what's interesting is we looked at all the R1, Research One universities around the country. You know what the average is around the country? It's only 4 startups. That's real value. These are startups that become businesses that hire people at great wages in many of our communities, and they contribute to the local economies of our communities throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia and inevitably beyond. In the past decade, our innovation has led to 49 new products that are now in the market. And as I look at these products, they're helping people live better lives. And we're just getting started. Last month, NSF's director, Panchanathan, he was here with us. Now, this is the United States National Science Foundation, and he can go to any of these universities, and all of his predecessors did. They never stopped off at VCU. He spent an entire day at VCU. He toured our lab facilities. He talked with our students and our faculty colleagues about the work that they're doing. And he said some really profound things. He said, VCU is one of these institutions that really matter for the future. And why? He said, because you're addressing the missing millions. What's he talking about by missing millions? He isn't talking about dollars. He's talking about all the people who have the backgrounds and they have the potential to succeed and excel in the sciences and all the STEM fields, but they haven't had the access or the pathways to reach those careers. We need them. We need them to be there. And that's what VCU does. And that's why he's so excited. It's why I stay so excited. This is exactly the kind of person that we want to be a student at VCU. We seek these students and we serve them because we do so well with them. It's one of the reasons that VCU has won the Excellence in Diversity Award from Insight into Diversity magazine. It's been 4 years in a row now. I'm excited about these students because I was one of them. I didn't have that pathway. There was no way I thought I could be a scientist or anything else beyond that. I just wanted to get out of the town I had grown up in. And I love those people, they're wonderful, but most of them didn't graduate from high school even. None of them went to college that I know of. By now maybe they have, I'm old, and I've been gone a long time. But these are the kids who do so well. These are the people who do so well at VCU. And that's what you're making happen. Still some barriers that we've got to get rid of, though. Because as a public university, VCU has this opportunity, but more importantly, VCU has an obligation to meet the most pressing needs of our people. That's what's going to shape this country. We're committed to making every human being successful in every way that they have the potential to succeed. And I just told you we all agree that every human being has the potential to succeed. And that's why combining access with student success is so very important. We're getting more students involved with our research. They want to be involved. It's a great way for them to get work-based learning experiences in their fields. It's a great way for them to develop passion, to learn about something that no other human being has ever known in the world until they saw it discovered in real live research. We're shaping the skills in critical thinking that they need to solve the real problems and move our communities forward. Let's talk about one of those research projects. In April of 1994, quite a while ago, human bones and artifacts from the 19th century were found in an abandoned well during construction of one of the buildings on our VCU Health campus. So, these ancestral remains that were believed to be of African descent are now the focus of a research project in VCU's Department of Forensic Science as we try to gain insight on how they lived and perhaps even who these folks were and potentially find descendants and to give them the dignity in death that they were denied in their lives. What happened was wrong. So, sophomore student Ananya Odiavar and her faculty mentor, Baneshwar Singh, they're both part of this project, and they're researching the dental biomes of the remains from the well. So this is going to tell us information about a lot of things. The kind of food that people ate, what kind of environments they lived in, and probably even tell us about the kind of work that they did. And along the way, Ananya is developing really critical skills that are going to help her to become a really great doctor. So, let's hear from Ananya and Dr. Singh and from the Family Representative Council head, Rhonda Pleasance. Thank you, Rhonda, for everything you've done for us. Let's hear from them about why research in this project are so important. Let's look up on the screen.
I came in as a biology major, and I had never considered forensic science even before, but I came across their website and saw what kind of research projects they do, and I emailed Dr. Singh, and I was like, hey, I want to be a part of your lab.
As a mentor, you guide them and you tell them what they need to do to be successful in the research career.
I've learned a lot of lab techniques that I've never known how to do before, like PCR and DNA extraction. My project is looking at the microbiome of the dental calculus, which is calcified dental plaque on the skulls of the ancient remains. And basically, a microbiome is an entire community of small microorganisms, and each microorganism has some significance and some meaning to the person's health.
It's not just a bone, it's not just a mandible, it's not just a cranium, it's an individual who suffered and then was dumped in a well.
These remains were disposed of in a disrespectful manner, so being able to bring honor to these ancestors is going to give their families kind of dignity that they deserve.
This is our chance to give justice or to do something or contribute something to these bones.
That's the biggest thing that I've learned about research, is that you cannot expect it to be straightforward. So determination is probably the biggest part of research.
And I also hope that as they are performing their research, that they realize that these really are people who paid a sacrifice for years to come.
You all look great on the screen. Ananya, Dr. Singh, Mrs. Pleasance, you're all here. Would you kindly stand so that we can recognize and thank you? And this is going to be a major step forward in seeing people to the ends of their journeys in a way that really honors their lives and their legacies. And you've made that happen. I can't thank you enough. I'm really grateful to you and very proud of you for doing such important work. Thank you. We're committed to acknowledging and thoughtfully examining the role of human enslavement and racism in predecessor institutions. As we have done with the East Marshall Street Well Project and the VCU Committee on Commemoration and Memorials, we will continue that work with what I call Project Gabriel. And I'm really grateful to Dr. Clifton Pay, a member of our VCU board, and Cheryl Garland, a member of our team, Chief of Health Impact. I'm grateful to them for co-chairing this really important effort. Project Gabriel is what I call the President's Special Commission on Slavery and Justice. This is going to provide us an opportunity to continue to acknowledge the really, just no other word for it, horrendous actions that our predecessor institutions did, and engage continuously with our communities so that we can have the dialogue that really results in the actionable recommendations that we need to make meaningful changes that reflect the inclusive public research university and health system that we are today. So there's a lot of work to be done, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from our communities. You know, across our communities and our campuses, I should say, and our health system and our communities, VCU is continuing to adapt to what I will describe as emerging needs in both academics and in patient-based healthcare. Just yesterday, we cut the ribbon, some of you were there, on the new Children's Tower. This is awesome because it brings together inpatient, emergency, and trauma, as well as outpatient care under one roof, which is a critical resource for Virginia's families, something that we've worked on since my arrival. And as Virginia Governor Youngkin said yesterday, you know, the most important resource that you'll see under this roof, or that is under this roof, is our team of providers and caregivers, and I can certainly attest to that. I see them all the time. And remember, one of the things that we talked about yesterday is that Elias did a great job of talking about this, is kids' needs are just so different from adults' needs, and we've got to care for them differently. I knew this from all the rounding I've done all over the country, but also seeing so many children's hospitals around the nation as we were trying to put together what we wanted this to look like. And by the way, this is now the model children's hospital in the country. It's the last one. And personally, somebody asked me yesterday, so why were you so driven by this? You know, why Children's Hospital of all the things you do? Well, on a personal level, I developed some interesting feelings when one of our boys was born and pretty quickly airlifted to subspecialty care in the first weeks of his life. So watching my baby, Monica's and my baby, who couldn't speak for himself, and now we get some speech, awesome, and we welcome that voice, by the way. Do not try to hush anybody. But I realized how critical pediatric care is and how different pediatric subspecialty care is when a special need is there. You know, we have to remember, kids, we are not kids anymore, most of us. We should be in our minds, but our bodies aren't, and they're in key human development stages of their lives, and we have to treat them the right ways. And when a child and their families are dealing with really difficult things, we need soothing environments that will have as little stress as possible. Look around hospitals, there's so much stress in them. We know how to ignore a lot of that as adults. We need to get rid of all the stress in the hospitals for adults too, by the way. Our Children's Hospital will foster really, really important research into those early formative aspects of human development, those orphan diseases that plague only certain families. But that's what we do because we're a research university hospital. You know, I want to offer special gratitude to my community partner and soulmate. His name is Coley Wortham. Very humble guy, but really important. And I'll tell you why in a second. And also to the head of our Children's Hospital, Elias Nujar. This was never going to happen without them. It just wasn't. So they were both vision partners, but Coley was my $200 million money partner, and Elias was our operating partner. And so, anyway, thank you so much to both of them. Why am I going on and on? Because my heart goes on and on. It's important to me. And it's important every time I see a little kid who needs to be in the environment that we have now created. And I can't wait to get our kids there. And we'll continue to envision so many other kinds of new spaces, like our new STEM building that will open right down the street this fall, and our new athletics village. I just saw Ed in the back. He probably should have stayed another minute. It's taken a lot of work, but it's wonderful. And by the way, while Ed is maybe within earshot anyway, I want to offer my warmest congratulations to our VCU men's basketball program. They're the champions of the Atlantic 10 and just one of a handful of teams that made it to the NCAA tournament. So proud of this team. And remember, no matter what anybody thinks of athletics, remember, everybody else in the world thinks a lot about it, and that's what draws attention back to your university. And then they want to know more about you, not just athletics, but everything about you. So these are the folks that are great role models, national, international role models, and they draw so much attention to what you're doing. And we're using our creativity in so many ways, including to look at pharmaceutical manufacturing differently through our Medicines for All initiative, such an important initiative. Why would the Gates Foundation and the federal government and so many others get behind such an effort if it weren't so important? It's important to human lives, but it's important to national security, and I could go on and on about it. And as a result, our regional partnership, we call it the Alliance for Building Better Medicine, obviously a BBB project, it's gotten $53 million in a federal grant. So that's going to help us to build the labs and make more essential medicines, essential because we have to have them here in the U.S. and also in the Richmond-Petersburg region. VCU has been supporting our new biotech and biomedical innovation for many, many decades. You might remember in the 1990s, VCU led the founding of what is now called Activation Capital in the Biotech Center. We're setting records all the time. Fundraising last year reached just about $240 million. When I came, it was about $48 million on average. And we're aiming even higher this year because we can do it. I need more scholarships. Last year, I announced our largest gift ever. It was the $104 million gift that you'll never forget. That's what created the Stravitz-Sanyal Liver Institute for Liver Disease and Metabolic Health. Metabolic health connects to all of these other things we see and deal with in our patients all the time. So I want to thank Todd Stravitz, one of my colleagues, and my other colleague, Arun Sanyal. They've had the generosity, the vision, but also Arun, day in and day out, is doing incredible work to make this institute a global reality. How often do you hear about a liver institute? Not often. It's what marks VCU's special contribution. We'll soon make another groundbreaking announcement, and this time it's big news about VCU Massey Cancer Center. It'll be a few more weeks before I can say this officially, but soon I will be officially announcing that Massey Cancer Center at VCU will become Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center at VCU. This is a rank by the National Cancer Institute, and all of the reporters in the room will get me in trouble for this. That's okay. It's your job to report what I say. But it's an incredible step forward for us. It's something that we started on 14 years ago, at least for me. I was part of that. VCU had been working on it for years. But when I hired Rob Wynn, our director, he just continues to establish himself in so many awesome ways. He has helped make us one of the most preeminent cancer treatment and research centers in the country. Rob, stand up and let me thank you. This colleague is one of the best communicators, networkers, and just deep feelers that I have ever known. He feels so deeply for human beings, and he loves human beings, and that's what drives him to do the hard work that he does. And it's not easy, because I'm with him all the time. And we're continuing, Rob, to do really important groundbreaking work with immunotherapy, something that I'll get a chance to talk about in Northern Virginia at the V Foundation here soon. And you know, when you can combine that together with our focus on the care of our patients and patients with liver disease, our children's hospital, the Pauley Heart Center, our transplantation of solid organs, what we're building here is a truly comprehensive public health institution in so many ways. And I'll have a lot more to share with you about public health. You've heard the good announcement about our approval by the state for population health. I'm going to give you another example, though, now. I'm going to go back to Rob and his colleagues and VCU Massey Cancer Center and the incredible work that they're doing in our communities. Members of the Chickahominy tribe noticed that there was a really, really big number, a large number of its members living in some same areas where they were all getting cancer. And they were deeply concerned about it. And it's really cool how they showed this. You'll see it in just a minute. So the leadership of the tribe connected with VCU Massey to help figure out what's really going on. And so let's hear from the Massey team, Ms. Brown, and also the Chickahominy chief, Steve Adkins. Let's look.
I lost my dad to lung cancer, which started out as prostate cancer. I lost my mom to leukemia. I lost 2 sisters to breast cancer, and I lost a nephew to lung cancer.
There's a high number of cancer cases within a 4-mile radius of the tribal center.
So we reached out and found Massey Cancer Center.
And when she came to the meeting, it was quite impactful because she came with this hand-drawn map in this maybe like less than 1 mile radius, where she had literally marked the houses with a little cross if someone had died from cancer. The community has a concern, and that deserves our ear, and it deserves our partnership.
And so the Truth Project is mixed research to see if we can rule out like some environmental factors.
The Truth Project.
Truth is an acronym that we co-created that stands for Trust, Research,
Understand, Teach, and Heal.
One of the things that Massey believes, like from its leadership down, is the best research is really going to be when we partner.
We feel like research is necessary in order to hone in on what are the factors that are causing this high incidence of cancer. Is it the water we drink? Is it the air we breathe? Is it a matter of genetics? Or is it all three?
The goal is to interview about 150 families within this 4-mile radius. As part of it, we are also conducting water testing that tests for over 200 contaminants.
From the time they walked in the door, I felt like they meant what they said to us. They were like, "We're here for you."
Once we complete all of the testing, we will disseminate this information collectively with them, make decisions about what is it that they would like to do with this information.
If we package all of that into the Truth Project, I'm confident we'll end up in a better place than we are right now.
So we have Ms. Brown and my colleagues, Dr. Kathy Tosas and Dr. Thompson. They're all with us today. And Chief Adkins, by the way, couldn't be with us, but Suzanne Brown is. So please, if you will stand so that we can recognize and thank you. So proud of you. Thank you so much. And thank you for bringing this to our attention and believing that we could help you. It's exactly why we're here, Ms. Brown. Thank you. And I hope you will share with Chief Adkins our gratitude for the trust that you've placed in VCU. I'm so proud that we have this opportunity to work together with you, and we're going to save lives with you. Thank you. Kathy, thank you. So what happened here? What happened here is that our cancer team, they saw a problem and they took an engaging approach to solve it. to build the trust that we needed to build in order to have the relationships that would enable us to solve it through the information that we can gather. That's what we do at VCU, and that's what we're going to keep on doing. You know, I started out talking about this is a time of transition, and that's how I'm going to end. Change is here, and we're going to get ahead of the change so that we don't get changed. So the gap between higher education in general and the people who need colleges and universities, we need to face it. It's growing, and the response needs to be big. It's got to be timely, and it's got to be innovative. We got to really think through this together, and we got to move. We'll be expected to focus on how we teach, how we learn, and how we transform education, because the outcomes are what will matter the most. We will revolutionize how we make the world a better place for all human beings through higher education. Higher education has done it, it continues to do it, but we got to close that gap. It's a bold transformation, but I'm confident it's what we're going to do. I know we'll do this because I know how we do tough things, and we do them well. We've opened a children's hospital that is now a model for the nation, is one of the last to be opened. We've achieved comprehensive status for Massey Cancer Center, and so many other things that we have been able to do. We dedicate our resources to these things. We dedicate ourselves to these things. And if we can do these things, we dedicate ourselves and our resources to help students who are admitted to VCU, we can unleash their full potential no matter where they start from in their lives. We believe in them, and we have to do more than say we believe in them. We've got to get them through. And VCU is the kind of place that can do it faster than any other that I know. We can create a model for the rest of the nation's research universities, or really all of the nation's colleges and universities. We'll imagine a new way of doing things and turn to our imagination to make sure that our imagination turns into tangible, innovative improvements for all of our students so that they can all be successful. No place has a faculty, a staff, alumni, university, health system boards that collectively care more about students and our students' success anywhere else that I know of. Together, we will reimagine what student success looks like for a new generation. At VCU, we have not been known to follow status quo because we don't. We're here to transform students' lives with the skills and the tools that they need to build the lives they want for themselves, but listen to our students and what they say, but also to help them with the many others that they're concerned about. I love this generation. They love other human beings, and that's what we need. That's the way we're built as people, and that's what they're showing us. We're here to imagine new discoveries and then turn those discoveries into innovations that improve our lives. We're here to treat every patient as they want to be treated, at the best possible levels. We're here to find innovative treatments. We're here to find causes and cures for disease, the most complex and chronic illnesses that people live with. We're here to be sensitive about what other people need. Yes, we're on this ride together. This is our journey. We're driving for them. We're here to see what others see, but we're here to think in ways that nobody else has ever thought. That's our distinctive mission, a mission that's now more important than ever as we support the underlying values of our country, that every human being can be successful. I can't say it enough. The world around us, the human beings around us, are changing in so many ways. It demands that we keep up, and we will. It demands that we stretch our creativity in uncommon ways, and we will. It demands that we truly put the needs of students and patients first. We will. And everything else is going to flow from that. It also demands that we're going to have to make choices knowing that we cannot be all things to all people at the same time. It's hard for large organizations to do these things. But we all have faith in each other to ultimately do what is in the best interest of our students and patients as we continue to lead the evolution of a truly student-centric and patient-centric institution in America. We all have this in our hearts. We need to let our hearts drive, and I know you will. This is what will distinguish Virginia Commonwealth University as a model for all research universities and colleges and universities everywhere. I have great faith in you. It's why I'm here. I believe in all of you, and I need you. I need you to lock arms, and let's go forward for the sake of our students, our patients, and our communities. Let's do it. Thank you.